Welcome to the Racing Line on Let's Talk Sport. We're back, which must mean F1 is around the corner. Oh, it's like Christmas this, where, well, I would say Bernie's, going to come to our houses and give us the presents, but it's actually Liberty Media these days of Chase Carey.
Thank God Bernie's not here anymore.
Well, I say that, but yeah, again, Liberty Media haven't been running it very well.
I know, but Bernie's ruined it that we don't get any free to watch.
I know.
F1 anymore.
You bastard. Bastard. I don't care if you took it to every country and promoted it in a very good way, but oh well. Anyway, we thought we'd go through the last few days of the F1 because pre-season is literally down the road now. Well,
down the road, like we did that.
Yeah. You have to get the flight to obviously go to
Spain.
Barcelona, and then go there and get to Catalonia and go past the protests.
It's a very long road.
It's a long protest going on as well. But anyway, we thought we'd at least look back at the last few things that have happened over the week, and I think we've got to start off with Fernando Alonso. Yes, he's already back on the scene, and he only just retired. The man who won Daytona 24 recently as well, and is going to be fighting for the Indy 500 come May. But in this meantime, he's a bit bored, Jack, and he thought he'd have his thoughts on the F1 at the moment. And he said that the young Charles Leclerc could be the man for Ferrari to stop the dominance of Mercedes. It's 5 years that they've been dominating both the world and the Constructors' Championship. But do you think he's right? I hope he means this year, because he wasn't specific. He said, I'd imagine he means this year, but Leclerc's in his first season for Ferrari. So it's,
I think, even if he doesn't mean this first season, I think he just means in years to come. I mean, how young is Leclerc? He's got 21. So many years ahead of him. So, I think it could be the case. I love how he was at McLaren the other day. Was it yesterday? He was at the McLaren Centre already. Alonso. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, he was back there already. I'm guessing he's having a look at the new car, thinking, I'm glad I'm not racing in that again this year. But
it's shit.
But yeah, I mean, it's obviously nice to see Fernando still interested in F1, even though he's left the sport. It will be sad to not see him on the grid in Australia. I mean, our childhood will be different now. Our childhood is gone. No more Alonso.
I never had a childhood now. It's all gone.
That's it. No more Alonso, no more Button. We just got bloody Hamilton. I think it might be another swipe at Vettel, though. Saying that Leclerc will be the one to stop Mercedes and not Vettel.
Yeah. There's this thing in there with Vettel and Alonso. Not that they don't like each other, but it's just Alonso's never shown that respect, does he, to Vettel?
It's rivalry, isn't it? I think. I think we really want Leclerc to hit the ground running at Ferrari. I mean, that'll be awesome. I think not just for Ferrari and for him, but for the whole F1. I know Ferrari give Mercedes a good run for their money in last season's, sort of faded out in the end, but. If Leclerc can do what he did in the Sauber at Ferrari, I mean, Ferrari could have an absolute amazing season. And obviously, Arriva-Bene's not there anymore. So they've changed around at the top as well as the drivers. So, it'd be interesting to see what Ferrari are going to do this year. I mean, they've done well in Australia. Is it 2 years in a row Vettel's won it?
Yeah, 2 years.
So it's a great track for Ferrari to start the season. So, let's wait and see. And I think Hamilton will actually be worried the fact that Leclerc and Vettel will be in that Ferrari this year.
It's funny, the last 2 years of Australia, there was that picture of one without the halo and one with the halo of Vettel doing the high five with Arriva-Bene. This year it'll be Leclerc with the new constructor and going, and Vettel will be like, oh, I miss my old days with Arriva-Bene now. It's like photos are telling me the future now. But what do you think of Arriva-Bene then? Because I don't know what to think. Because I thought it was a bit out of nowhere, really. Because this was, last month that they decided to let him go. And I thought if they were going to let him go, I thought it'd be straight at the end of the season. But they must have clearly had a few weeks of thinking and think, right, 2019, is this the year we finally stop Mercedes? Because we're getting there, but when it comes to the last few races, we're out of it. What's going on?
Well, I think, they've obviously had time to think about the decision and decided that, Arriva-Bene, maybe it needed a change. But I think the one thing that I think fans are missing, and I think David Coulthard last season said it so many times, is that they struggle to get publicity from Ferrari. Ferrari are very closed doors. They don't tell you anything. And we all know that Ferrari is the biggest team in the sport. It has the biggest fan base. So for them fans to not be involved with the team, Raikkonen and Vettel only did promotion videos for Shell, which is one of their sponsors. But apart from that, you don't really see them promoting or sort of being with the fans. Ferrari are very closed off, and I think if that's one thing that they need to change, I think they need to change the way that they interact with their fan base. Whether that changes with the new boss, I don't know. I think obviously Leclerc going in there is good, because obviously losing Raikkonen he's one of the favourite drivers on the grid now.
Yeah.
But losing Raikkonen and bringing in Leclerc, who has become a new sensation for F1 fans, I think it's a good replacement. But it's whether they can inject that energy from the fans, because although they have one of the best fan bases, they don't use it. I think that's what they need to. They need to utilise their fan base, especially obviously we know they're good at Italy, but away from that, on different tracks. But.
Well, we'll move on. We'll look at the Haas car. Now, that is the first out of the 10 cars to be revealed, and I straight away have 2 words for this. Lotus 2012.
Yes, but Lotus at the start of their career were actually not bad. It was only when they had the sort of Pastor Maldonado issues that they had. But I have to admit, it's quite a good-looking car.
Well, I mean, I thought Haas were going to stick with the usual, just kind of black and red, white kind of strip, just because they've been using it since they started.
I think it's because is it Rich Energy?
Rich Energy.
I'm not sure what the full name of the sponsor is, but I think they've bought the rights, so the whole car is covered in their sponsorship detailing. So that if that's what the car's going to look like, Haas have always said, well, we'll have the money and then we'll make the car around what you've decided. But I have to say, for an F1 car, normally when they're dark and that, they look a bit boring. We want the Pink Panthers, we want the orange papaya from the McLaren.
We want the yellow Jordans back, but it's been a while.
Yeah, but I think if you're making a black car, I think the way they've done it with the gold detailing is very much like the Lotus car, but let's just hope it's a bit more better than that Lotus car.
Well, the Haas, we as we know, are pretty much going to be the bitches for Ferrari when they need them to be throughout the 2019 season, let's be honest.
I did Grosjean and Magnussen are still in contention at that point, because
God, I forgot we've still got them 2 in the races, haven't we? Oh dear me. Oh dear.
So it's a good looking car, but how far they'll go is another thing.
I feel like the driver recruitment side needs changing fast.
But then we've also got, Toro Rosso on the Monday we're recording this are announcing their car. Williams are announcing their livery. We've got McLaren doing it on Valentine's Day, which is very lovely for fans out there.
I wonder if they'll do like a kind of romantic video of Lando Norris and Sainz like revealing the car together, like after you,
just like stroking the.
And then they accidentally hold hands and they go, oh.
It's like Beauty and the Beast. But yeah, I don't know. We've got Mercedes as well. Is that being announced this week?
I have a feeling that's being done.
Thursday?
You'd think that would not be doing. I always feel like when the teams do on the tracks, that's more we don't give a shit about the launch. We're just here to get the points because
Red Bull always do that. They launched, like we said last year. If anyone didn't see that livery of last year when they went and tested that car for the launch, it looked really, really nice. Yeah. And then they went, no, that's not actually our season one. And we were like, oh.
It's funny because last season was weird with testing. There was quite a lot of delays in it because of the snow and the winter. Late winter came in, didn't it? And you didn't get to see much of that Red Bull car at the end. And yeah, that's probably why Vettel and Ferrari never worked out. They didn't get enough time on the track, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they should have actually looked at their pit stop strategies for a change. It's been many years now. You keep fucking it up. But anyway, we will, of course, be waiting until all the cars are out because we will be doing our own video where we will rank out of the 10 the best-looking car for 2019. I mean, I'm straight away going to say I'd say Force India. It's Racing Point now.
Racing Point.
What am I saying? That's been confirmed, Jack. What do you think? Racing Point.
Wow.
Do you think? Should we expect any changes? Should we expect them to do worse? Should we expect them to actually do better? I mean,
they've got Stroll in there, so that already decreases their.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about many things, haven't you? That's just.
This is why sometimes I wish the season didn't come back.
Yeah, Lance Stroll in that car now, along with Sergio Perez. That's a great lineup.
It's debatable. I mean, you can go on and praise him, but
no, please. It's you. You love Sergio Perez. So.
Yeah, but I think as well for Racing Point, could they look at it in which, this team, this is a group of people that actually finished 4th for 2 years on the trot, wasn't it, or something like that? And obviously this season it was 6th, 7th, no 7th, I think they finished. Could they look at it and think, well, our history says we can do better, but because of the point deduction last year...
That's what cost them.
Yeah, but then Renault, of course, have been up there as well, so Do you think they could look at it and think fourth, or do you think they need to be a bit lower?
I think they need to set their sights a bit lower as a it's not a birth, it's sort of a rebirth of the team, isn't it? They've changed the name, sort of new owners and one new driver in there, but I think it's sort of like a rebirth, and they've got to set their sights a little bit lower, a bit like Renault did when they first come back. They said that we're not going to be the top 4 teams immediately, but we're going to consistently try and get up the leaderboard. And to me, actually, I'm actually looking forward to the Renault launch, because we know that they did okay last season. It wasn't the best, but again, they consistently got a little bit better, and obviously bringing Daniel Ricciardo in as a new driver alongside Hulkenberg, who is a little bit underrated as well. It'd be nice
will
to
be
see.
A bitch.
Yeah, I think he will. He was like, I'm not doing too bad against Sainz. Oh, what Ricciardo's going? But I think that would be quite an interesting lineup this year. Obviously, you've got Gasly and Verstappen as well. Whether they got on, 2 youngsters, is another thing in Red Bull.
I feel like Red Bull and Ferrari are going to have the same situations where we've got to control this from the beginning, where it could be, Gasly and Leclerc will be very ambitious and think, right, this is it, this is my time to shine, I'm in the right car, and go for it. But then you look at it and think, if things go wrong straight away, Vettel and Max Verstappen could start to have that problems where they talk to each other outside the garage. We get on now, Vettel. You got the same problems, same problems. He's young, isn't he? Yeah, I know, all these youngsters. It's like, Verstappen, he's the same age as you. Yeah, but I'm older. More. In terms of mentality, I'm older. But that's how I look at both teams. They're in the same situation.
Yeah, they're totally. And I think Verstappen will obviously think he's the first driver, and I think rightly so. He did exceptionally well last year against Daniel Ricciardo, and I think that will be an interesting one. One I know we haven't pointed out yet, and one that we're really excited for come Australia is Robert Kubica.
Yes, I forgot. Oh, now that is why I'm really looking forward to the new season.
Hopefully, Williams has got a good car this year.
I mean, this is a guy who's got one arm, and he's literally showing that he can drive better than most of the younger generation still. No, I'm not actually lying. This is true. His left arm is fucked. And, that is why he's done so well to get himself back to where he is. And, at the same time, Billy Monger's another one where he has no legs and he is proving to be still a great driver, which is great to see. But, I think that's everything we've got left to talk about, really, for this week on a racing line. But
let's just hope McLaren bring a good car.
Let's just hope they've got a car.
Whoops, we forgot.
What colour? Right, okay, before we wrap up, what colour should the McLaren car be? If you can only have one colour.
It's got to be orange, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that. But then I got a bit bored of it because I thought, well, the Indy days are gone now until Alonso's back out there, but we'll see.
Can you imagine if they're still painting it when they launch it? So, they're pulling the covers, the guys that are still painting the orange.
Oh, crap. We're just as slow as the team.
We're out of paint.
Well, anyway, my thanks to Jack and my thanks to you lot at home. Comment your thoughts on the topics we've discussed below. And, of course, we'll be back next time when we get closer to the new season.